If I die, you guys can have my knits. Like, if that happens, we'll go that route. Hello, welcome to episode 227 of the Knitty McPurly podcast. I'm your host, Devin Ventry. You can find me at KnittyMcPurly.com. I'm Knitty McPurly on Instagram, and if you want to email me, I am Devin at KnittyMcPurly.com. Welcome to the podcast. You might notice that I finished something, sort of. So I did one sleeve, and I didn't do it the way it was written in the pattern. Sorry, I've got my microphone here today. I didn't do it the way that it was written in the pattern. I just did a little cuff, and I haven't done this one yet, but I don't know. Which one do you like better? I think I like this one better. But anyway, so cute, right? I love it. It's so comfortable. It's so cool. It is great. Very, very happy to be at least this far. After the podcast, I'm going to take it off and do this other one, and then I will be officially done. It is fiddly. I mean, all these buttons, button bands, all this stuff you got to do. It's knit flat across this just giant expanse. So I'm very happy that it's done. I didn't super enjoy knitting it, but I love the finished product. And some people have said that about Andrew Mowry's patterns. It's kind of been my experience too. I haven't made very many of them, but the ones I have, I didn't love making them, but I love the finished product, which I think is worth it. I feel like this is a little wide. It's all a little wide. Probably I didn't get gauge. So what I might do is just shore this up a little bit because it's like right on the edge. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it like that. We'll see. It is super hot out. Remember last week I was wearing like a full wool sweater? Well, this week it's 1 million degrees. So I'm actually going to turn the fan on here in a minute. I have yarn that I'm moving around in my studio. So I'll be cutting out here and there to go fix that, but you won't really notice, but I will. Anyway, it's hot down there too. It's hot everywhere, which is why I'm so cool and comfortable in my Fiji fingering weight sweater. I feel like it's a little wider than maybe it should be. Like I said, probably I didn't get gauge, but I didn't check either. So, that's what you get. All right, let's get right on to progress and shop news. So the Sock Club, the League of Extraordinary Sock Knitters, only had 2 openings this month. Normally what I'll do is on the 2nd of the month in the morning, I'll send out a newsletter saying, don't forget, today at noon, the openings for the Sock Club go up. But since I talked about them last week on the podcast and I kind of reminded you there, and there weren't very many, I didn't send the newsletter and they were still gone within 4 minutes. By 12:04, they were both snapped up. So if you're interested in the League of Extraordinary Sock Knitters, those go up. If there are any openings, meaning that someone has canceled, those go up on the 2nd of the month at noon Eastern time. Mark your calendars if you're interested. Okay. Those are going to ship. Normally I will ship. So this is July's yarn. Can you believe that? We're into July's yarn already. Oh my gosh. So normally they ship around the 15th of the month, between like the 15th and the 20th. Normally I ship, but we are going out of town again this month. It's been a crazy year for going places, but we're going out of town again. So I'm going to ship them on the 12th or the 13th. So you'll be getting July's yarn a little bit early, and it is totally different from June. Okay. June's yarn was just so happy. And this is happy too, but in a very different way. So I think you're going to like it. All right. The Hey Sailor Knitalong ended on Sunday. I can't remember. June 1st. Can't remember what day it was. Somebody commented, you don't know what day it is because school's out for summer. I was like, yes. Yes. You guys, I have been a homeschool mom for 17 years. Okay. And I am officially done with that. I'm so happy. I've been kind of done with it for like the past 10 years, but I have soldiered on because that's what one does. But anyway, I'm happy. So the Hey Sailor Knitalong ended, and I used the random number generator to choose 3 winners for me. And those winners were Tara, Tanya, and Stephanie. So I told them about it. I put it on Instagram. I sent them their gift card, their Knitty McPurly gift card. It's so much fun, right? There weren't that many finishers. I didn't finish. I think there were like 10 finishers. So your chances of winning were pretty good. And I got a bunch via email. All of those were included. People put the hashtag in the subject line, so I didn't miss it. I included all of those, and those were my winners. So that was really fun. The sweaters turned out so, so good. They just looked beautiful. I'm so happy and I hope you're happy too. I'm happy with my sweater. Again, though, as I'm wearing it, I'm thinking, I don't know, should I keep it or should I don't know. I kind of like it. I think it makes it a little more dramatic, a little more fancy. Also, I have been neglecting Instagram. I'm sorry if you're one of those Instagram people who's on there a lot. I mostly use Instagram for funny videos and dog memes. My family and I, we share those all the time. But I'm going to put this on Instagram today as for the Knitalong, even though it's a little bit late. All right. I got a request from a customer for more summer vibe kits. Hold on. So you will recall that this is the summer vibe top. This is my favorite summer top. Every time I wear it, I get so many compliments. Look at even like the scallop. It just scallops along the top. It's just so beautiful and classy. So I got a request for me to put these kits back up. And so I did that. Those went up this morning. That's the yarn that I'm currently dyeing right now. So those will probably be dry by Tuesday. So if you want one, go over to the shop and you can grab one and they will ship out on Tuesday. Now, this is Fiji fingering and it is 9 skeins. So it's 9 full skeins of yarn, which is not, you don't need that much to make just this one little sleeveless top. No matter what size you're making, that's plenty of yarn. So if you're making a smaller size, you would have enough left over. I'll pull these off just for the demonstration purposes. Is that the back? Yeah, front looks better. So I had enough left over from the summer vibe to make a Jupiter crop. Now, I think I did need a little more River Rock. Is that true? I don't remember. I feel like I did need a little more River Rock because that's all through here. That's what I used for my main color. If you did want to do that, this pattern is not written for a fingering weight yarn, but you can use the Gauge Switcheroo worksheet, which is available for free on my website, if you want to use a different yarn than the pattern calls for. Also, when we get to knitting fantasies, I have a great pattern for you that would be perfect for a summer vibe kit leftovers. So we've got that to look forward to. Now, the thing is, because it is 9 full skeins, that would be, at normal prices, that would be $270. And that's insane. Like you can't spend $270, although you do get 2 sweaters out of it, but it just hurts my heart. Like it's just too much money. So, the kits are $180, which makes each skein only $20 each. So it's a much better deal. It's still a good amount of money, but if you get 2 sweaters out of it, and this yarn is amazing. Sorry, I'm out of breath because I had to run down to the studio. So yeah, it's a good deal for 9 skeins of yarn at $180 because that makes them $20 each. So it's a good deal. Speaking of summer sweaters, I thought we should do a summer knit-along. So I was thinking you could pick any summer top and it has to be a new cast on, can't be one that you're halfway through. I've got 2 of them that I'm halfway through. Oh, that I want to show you too because I've been working on them. Has to be a new cast on. And I thought, what if we ran it from June 15th, which is Father's Day, through August 15th, which is the Feast of the Assumption, if you're a Catholic. That's 2 whole months. Like it's a really good long time, especially for a summer top, which is going to be smaller because it's probably not going to have sleeves. So here's what I'm thinking. it'll be hashtag KMP Summer KAL. And those are the rules. New cast on has to be any summer top shirt thing. And it'll run for the 2 months. And if you use Knitty McPurly yarn or a Knitty McPurly pattern or a Knitty McPurly pattern, you'll get extra entries. What do we think? You want to do it? I mean, we're probably going to be knitting summer tops anyway. Might as well join in on the Knitalong. So let's do that, shall we? That sounds like fun. All right. Just a reminder, June's color of the month is available now in the shop. You can go get that. It's a beautiful, beautiful, I would say more of a tonal with a variated tonal. It's not really variegated because there are different colors, but I don't think it's going to present that way. It's going to look mostly like a tonal with a very light speckle. So that is beautiful, and that is available right now if you want to go get it. I am still working on my wisteria top. I haven't gotten very far, and I have a funny story about this. This is by Joan Ho, and I'm using May's color of the month, which is very juicy. And I believe there is still some of this available in the shop if you're interested. And this is a 2x2 rib tank top. So I lost my book. I went to go pick it up because I finished this, and I was like, okay, well, now I can work on some of my older cast-ons. And I went to, and I was like, my book is gone. I looked everywhere, couldn't find it. But I did buy the book. Like, I own the book. So I sent Amy an Instagram message, and I was like, can you take a picture of the pattern and send it to me because I lost my book? It's not cheating because I did buy it. I just lost it. So anyway, this has been an eventful podcast. Things just keep interrupting me, but it'll be fine. I'll cut it all out and it'll be super smooth. Anyway, I decided that because I was getting kind of low on my first skein, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go grab another skein and start to alternate rows so that they look good together. But then I got a skein that I didn't take this one with me when I balled this one up. Why not? I don't know. These are not, I mean, these are hand dyes. They might not match each other, but I thought it'll be fine. But then I was like, oh gosh, yeah, those are very different. So now I'm thinking, should I go match a different skein, or should I rip back and just alternate the whole way? I don't know. I think that would be pretty if I did that. And I don't really mind. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. But anyway. So anyway, that's kind of in timeout because I'm at a decision-making point. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. Also, my Benedicta is almost done, you guys. I started this in the fall. And the reason I say it's almost done is because, where's the front? I'm not going to do the sleeves. I'm going to make them short sleeves. So I'm at the bottom right now, at the ribbing. So all I'm going to do here is just like what I did here. So that is almost done, which is nice because I work on it like 3 rows every 6 months. So okay, moving on to the comment section. I had a lot of comments last time because those were all entries for the giveaway, and a winner was chosen by the random number generator, and that winner is Jody Johnson 7. Great job, Jody. I will send you a message over on that comment, and you can email me and let me know your mailing address, and I'll pop that in the mail to you. Okay. There were a lot of really good comments, so bear with me. They're really good. Mrs. Claunch says, oh, so exciting to see my Hey Sailor on last week's podcast. It was definitely the purling for me that made it a bit of a slog. When I got to the sleeves, the in the round was so much faster and so much less stitches. That's true. I just skipped that part altogether. Lizzie Knit Socks says, there is a lovely woman from my knitting guild who's moving out of state and downsizing. She brought some of her yarn as well as some of her knits to a meeting to share with other members. I think that's a great idea for donating knits, as we will appreciate the work she put into them. I love that idea. And my daughter said to me, why don't you give these knitted things to your friends? Because they would appreciate them. And I was like, It's too much pressure. I would rather donate them because I have found hand knit things at Goodwill before and I do appreciate them. So I feel like there are people out there who will see something hand knit and appreciate it and they won't know who made it. But it's too much pressure, I think, to give it to someone. If I die, you guys can have my knits. Like, if that happens, we'll go that route. But otherwise, I would rather give them to Goodwill because then I don't know what happens to them. If they're appreciated or not, I don't know about it. Knock Knits. Hi, Emily. She says, don't think we didn't spot the Jovis duster because we definitely did. I recently made the November vest by Petite Knit and extended it to duster length to scratch the Jovis itch. It turned out great, but I still have a candle lit for the real deal. Speaking of longing, I absolutely love your new recommendation section. One of my favorite reads is The Robe, which I picked up because you mentioned it when you introduced the name Jovis. If you ever run out of recs, I'd love to hear more about how you name your colorways and patterns. Those stories are always so fun and meaningful. Also, your severance humor from a few episodes back had me cackling. I'm so glad you enjoyed the show. All of my Audible credits go toward the Well-Read Mom book list these days. You'd love this book club. It's truly amazing. Oh my gosh, I've got to look into that. Oh, and she says, fun tip. Do you know you can return Audible books you don't love? Game changer. I do it all the time. See, I think I've returned my limit. I don't think they'll let me return anymore because if I don't like it, I'm like, got to get rid of that. But lately they haven't let me. So I think I just have used it as many times as I'm allowed to. She says, I've also been working with my local yarn shop here in Cincinnati, Hank, a yarn boutique, and we've been having lots of conversations around the textile industry lately. We carry Brittany needles, and I had no idea they were made in the U.S. I shared some of the cool things you mentioned about big knitting with my socks school students, and it sparked such a great discussion. Anyway, this turned into a long comment, but I wanted to take a moment to say thank you for the inspiration, the laughs, and the stories. Good comment, Emily. Very, very good comment. Sharon says, loved a rainy spell here in New Hampshire. I organized my yarn stash. I found yarn I had for years and forgot all about. So now I have a lot of new projects lined up. It feels so good. Doesn't it feel so good to organize stuff? I love when things are organized. The Kindles says, Nana's was terrific. I loved it. Made me miss my mom, but in the way you think they're such gifts. It was so well done. I love Andrea Mowry's patterns, but they put me to sleep making them, but they are my most wearable pieces besides Petite Knit. Agreed. It's very hard when you're designing a pattern to make it fun to knit and fun to wear, which is why I loved the Timbo vest so much. It was both. I love that. And I ended up, remember that Timbo vest? I made 2 of them. The one that's smaller, I liked more. So just tip for you to store away for later. If you ever make a Timbo vest, make it so that it's more fitted. If it's too loose, it looks kind of frumpy, in my humble opinion. Texas Barn Lady says, you must read The Dead Don't Dance by Charles Martin. Clean, inspiring, soulful, reaching. He is just the best. Good tip. Kathy says, hi, Devin. I think the blanket club is a great idea. I like the Sweet Shop blanket also, which someone else mentioned. I do have a question about the current sock club. Do we have to enroll again if we want to continue, or will it just carry on until we cancel? Great question. I have given this a lot of thought. I feel like I don't want people to get roped into it if they don't want to do it again. And I also want to give new people a chance to jump in. So this year's League of Extraordinary Sock Knitters will end and all of those subscriptions will be done. And then you can sign up afresh for one of the new sock clubs. And I've gotten so much feedback about the sock clubs. One suggestion I got that was really good was to merge the 2 sock clubs, where instead of having one club work from the Summer Lee book and one club work from the Charlotte Stone book, what if we had one club that pulled from both books to have a little more variety? What do we think about that option? Because what I don't want is to have a whole sock club with not enough people in it because they're not that interested. Like if it's too much color work, I get that. Too much color work can be a thing. So let me know what you think. Okay. Christina says, I recently went through my closet and purged. It was tough this time as I really liked almost everything. The knits are by far the hardest. I have shawls, lots of them. I never wear them because it turns out I don't know how to. Okay, I just ran downstairs and this happened. I think this is kind of cute. What do you think? I don't know. It's cool. Anyway, back to Christina's comment. She says, I don't know how to wear these shawls. I have a short neck and big chest, so I can't find a way that flatters. Since you have a drawer of shawls, could you do a how to wear it episode? I have triangles, rectangles, asymmetrical triangles, and I look odd in all of them. That is a great suggestion. One of the things that I actually had written down that I wanted to talk about is that I'm not really knitting shawls anymore. And the reason is, it's funny that you say you have a short neck and a big chest. I have a long neck and a small chest, but I have a fat face. Like if I gain 5 pounds, 3 of those pounds are in my face. And so when I wear a shawl, it makes me feel like my face is just this giant balloon. So I get it. Like it's hard to make a shawl. I don't know. I guess maybe some people look better in them than others. Andrea Mowry does a lot of shawls and she looks amazing in everything. When you look amazing in everything, it's like buying a house with somebody else's furniture in it. And then you put your furniture in it and you're like, right. So yes, let's do that. Let's do that next week, shall we? I love that idea. Okay. Knitty Crow says a book recommendation for everyone and an engaging book about the American wool industry is Vanishing Fleece by Clara Parks. That sounds super interesting. Kat Hardiff says the movie Norma Ray had a hand in prompting the decline of U.S. textile production, in my humble opinion. Now I need to go watch that because that I feel like is one of those iconic movies that I want to see, and I've never seen it. It's like Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. I mean, would the Civil War have happened without that book? It's amazing what propaganda does to a movement. Anyway, that's a topic for another podcast. Oh, the book I wanted to recommend. This is the most interesting book I read in a long time. It's called The Victorian Internet by Tom Standage. It's similar to the Rudolph Diesel book in the sense that it's history, but it's written so interesting. It's about what? It's written so interestingly. What happened there? I just had a little glitch. It's about the telegraph and the comparisons that he makes between the internet and the telegraph. It's so interesting. It's not even very long. It's like an 8-hour listen, I think. I always listen to my books, but it's super, super good. He also wrote a book called The History of the World in 6 Glasses. That's also really, really good. Okay. Knitting fantasies. Today I only have one pick, but it is fabulous. It is the Sundial Tee by Wool & Pine. If you want it, go get it right now because it is 30% off until Monday. Great thing about this tee is that it is scrappy. So also, let me tell you about it because when I read about it, I'm like, it just got cooler and cooler. So it is worked flat from the top down with short row shoulder and neckline shaping, but there's no purling. It's like the whole thing is garter stitch. Presumably, must be. You only need 6 to 13 grams of fingering weight yarn per color per stripe, and that's a 36 stripes. So this would be a great option for the summer vibe leftovers. If you wanted to do a summer vibe top, you could also make this tee. I think I need one of these too. It would also be great for scraps if you could use it with scraps. Yeah, it says the Sundial Tee is worked flat, all knits, no purls, in 2 pieces, beginning with a provisional cast on and short row shaping. It's mosaic knitting, 1 color per row, slip stitches, no floats, no purls, stash friendly. So I think that looks really good, right? Love it. That would also be great for our summer knit along. Both of these tops would be great for our summer knit along. And if you did 2, you'd get 2 entries. And if you use Knitty McPurly yarn, you'd get 4 entries. So I'm just saying. Okay, moving on to, so here's what happened. So I got some stories. Thank you so much to those of you who sent me stories. Today's story comes from Judy, and she says something at the beginning that I think a lot of people feel, but once you hear the story, you'll realize it's a great story. She says, I'm not sure if this is worth sharing, but it might be a good story when your stash of stories runs out. It is a great story, and I think it's one that a lot of us can relate to. I know that I can. She says that this is one of her favorite segments of the show, and she's so disappointed those few times that I haven't had any stories. If you feel that way too, please send me a story. I think I have 3, but send them to me because they will run out. This is a weekly podcast. Whatever knitting related or yarn related knitting story that you have, send it to me, Devin at KnittyMcPurly.com, Devin with an I, and I would love to share it on the podcast. She says, here's my story about good intentions. May is the month of yarn crawls in the Pacific Northwest. The LYS Yarn Tour encompasses 20 plus yarn stores from the North Puget Sound all the way up around the Canadian border and takes place in the middle of the month. Where I live in the South Puget Sound area, the PNW Yarn Crawl happens at the 1st of May. This event includes 10 stores in about a 60-mile radius and runs over several days. It is so much fun visiting all the yarn stores, chatting with other knitters and crocheters, picking up free patterns, and entering the prize drawings. On my first year of crawling, I was so gung-ho to visit all the stores so that I could be entered for the grand prize drawing. Such fun. But all the pretty colors of yarn went to my head, and I lost all control. I had good intentions of supporting these local small businesses, and I ended up buying something from all 10 stores. At the end of the weekend, I gulped when I saw the pile of yarn, and I realized how much I had spent. You know, I get it, but you supported those small businesses. You put food on other people's tables. That's what you do when you buy local. So I get it. And also, it sounds like you had a great time. So last year, I decided that rather than go to all the stores, I would volunteer at my local yarn store, A Little Knitty in Milton. I duly showed up at my allotted time with the good intention of being a friendly, welcoming presence to all of the crawlers. I stamped yarn crawl passports, handed out the free patterns, pointed out the vendors who had set up a trunk show, and alerted the store owner when someone had finished the crawl, having gone to all 10 stores. This is where my good intentions went awry. When someone finished the crawl, everyone clapped and cheered, and the finisher got their picture taken with a special sign. They were also supposed to get a finishing prize. Oops, I totally spaced on that one detail. At the end of the day, this oversight came to light. The owner had to put a post on Facebook asking anyone who finished at A Little Knitty to come and get their prize. Plus, she called all that day's customers who had made a purchase to find out if they had finished at the store. I was horrified at all the extra work I had made for her. So this year, once again, I decided to volunteer, and for 2 time slots. I assured Jen, the owner, that once I had made a very big mess up, I rarely made that mistake again. And she graciously pretended that she didn't know what I was talking about. Jen is a lovely lady. All was going well, as I pointed out a vendor, Rainier Roses, who had set up a trunk show and had even dyed 2 special colorways just for the yarn crawl patterns. I urged crawlers to visit her table because all of her yarn was discounted for the crawl. What a deal! My good intentions to promote sales hiccuped again. About halfway through my second shift, Jen whispered, Judy, only the 2 yarn crawl colorways are discounted, not all of the yarn. Fortunately, no one had cried false advertising and demanded the discount on their entire purchase. I have my doubts whether Jen will let me volunteer next year. My good intentions to avoid spending so much money has not been such a good idea in the long run. Just go buy all the yarn. Judy, we all make mistakes all the time. I make mistakes all the time. And 99% of the time, people are like, Devin, you made a mistake. And I'm like, I am so sorry. And I just fix it. And that's what keeps us humble, because we could easily get proud if we did things too well, right? But you are a wonderful person for supporting all those businesses and for helping your local yarn store, for just volunteering. Like, that's great. Who does that? That's so nice. Awesome. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. I hope you'll consider joining in on my summer knit along. It's going to be really fun. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.